Sup Nerds, Free99 here. Welcome back to another episode of Pokepath TD. As you can see, we've got a brand new team here on the left side. Let's just go over as to why these are the Pokemons that I'm choosing. So we've got Scratchers. For those of you who don't know, Scratchers has the ability where crits do twice the damage and at a chance of basically 50% and at an attack of basically 2 per second. Mathematically, it will end up to about 1 crit per second, which is kind of nuts. I think Scratchers, aka Weavile, is the highest DPS in the game, especially when you pair it with Farfetch'd, where it increases the critical damage of Pokemon within range by 33%. So instead of doing 200% damage, Weavile will now do 233%. So I can't wait to check this out. We've also got Ditto mimicking Weavile here, because what's better than one single target DPS, but 2? We've also got Legolas the Corsola here. This has been part of the team since forever. The AoE slow is nothing to laugh at. It's basically the best CC in the game that we have seen so far. Pairing that up with the Ampharos that has an attack that has a chance to stun targets, I feel like the slow stun CC combo could be great if it does work. If it doesn't, then that's unfortunate. Ampharos does have a pretty long cooldown at 4 seconds. This would be the perfect test to see if Ampharos is worth it to be put on the team. If not, I'm gonna swap them out for something else. We've got Gengar. Gengar is pretty unique. Attacks apply 1 Nightmare stack. Each stack deals damage equal to 20% of this Pokemon's power per second. So at 376, let's round that up to 400. You're looking at about 80 damage, I want to say. Every single second. And that will always be based off of Gengar's power and not the opponent's health, which I'm pretty sure if you do the math, HPs go up to about 2,000. And the only thing that you can compare this to would be something like Chimchar here, where it's 0.5% of their health per second for 10 seconds. So that's basically 5% of their health per second. In order to get something like 80, you would have to be looking at 800, 1,600 health or something close to that. My math could be way off here. But when I was calculating this earlier, just Gengar is just way better at damage over time than any of the poison or burn Pokemon that we have seen. Clefable is a little weak at level 36, but at essentially 1 second attack speed and a power of 179 plus the 344 that we have here, because of its passive, it is the most reliable crit based or like percent chance based DPS, I want to say. And this number will just keep going up because if you remember, it takes 600, at the very least 600 stars in order to unlock every single map in the game. So that means it's Clefable's base power plus 600 plus or more. Too many pluses in that sentence. But yeah, so we're gonna check out Clefable. Pom-Pom has been in the team since forever. It doubles its power in tall grass, so at 150 it doubles to 300, and then you're looking at a attack of every 2 per second, so you're looking at about 600 damage per second. So that's there. Plus we also, if we quickly deploy here, we don't have a lot of field space, so we're gonna need to put some on the grass here. Machamp. So, as I mentioned before, in the settings, there is the ability to stop before invisible units. We're gonna test out Machamp here, because this is the first Pokemon that, at least I've seen, that causes double damage to armor. Armor is the second health bar, essentially, in the game. And a lot of times, from what I have noticed in the late games, especially 90 plus, what passes through and completes the wave are the high armor Pokemon. So Machamp here is going to be like a fill spot. If the round does stop, it means that there's going to be an invisible wave coming up. And then that's the wrong button. And then we're just going to swap Machamp here in order to put in Grumpig. Because Grumpig has the ability to hit invisible enemies. And then after that wave is over, we're just going to put it on autopilot again until it stops, and then we swap Grumpig for Machamp once more. So with that being said, let's start deploying Pokemon. I believe this is the best spot for tall grass. The Fable has pretty big range. We can put them here. And then we're basically going to want to sandwich Ditto. Or not Ditto, Farfetch'd in between Ditto and Weavile here. So that it hits both of them with its passive. I'm guessing you can tell that by the little pink aura underneath. So that's going to be cool. Legolas is going in the water. There's no doubt about that. I'm pretty sure if we put them in here, this right side will still be covered. Not entirely sure. We're about to find out. Machamp, I feel like, should be in the front, because we're gonna be swapping them in and out with Grumpig. So we want Grumpig to also be in this spot so that it can take out the invisible units before the rest of the team gets to see it. Gengar, since it's damage over time, we want to infect them early. So putting them in the beginning where they can hit the enemies straight as fast as possible will give us the most amount of time for its passive, which means Ampharos unfortunately gets this spot down here. It's not so bad. Being able to stun them while they're being critted on by Weavile seems like a good idea. Also, Corsola will be able to slow them down in and around this area. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's check this out. So we've got wave 35, which is the first invisible wave. I believe it's the Kecleon here. Yes, invisible, yes, on Kecleon, which makes sense. Before we do anything, I do want to check something. Machamp should really be targeting the highest armor, because they're there to shred armor. Gengar, we would probably want to attack the highest HP, so that the Nightmare stacks will deal the most damage on the Pokemon that has the most bulk, if that makes any sense. Corsola should be targeting not slowed. There's no point of stacking a slow if it's already slowed, I guess. Pom-Pom here. First is fine. Clefable, first is probably fine. I do want to put Weavile to like highest HP maybe, as well as Ditto, so that their crits don't go to waste, if that makes any sense. For the same reason that you would want Gengar to target the highest HP Pokemon, damage sponges should really be taken out first. And then I guess Ampharos, you can't change. This basically tells you that Ampharos will attack in an area that is the size of its range, and anything caught in it will get damage and might have a chance to get stunned, so that's cool. Farfetch'd is okay to stay at first, I believe. They're really not here for damage, they're really just here to buff our 2 DPS. But with that being said, we can retire Machamp, go into our box here, remove them, put Grumpig in, and then deploy Grumpig where Machamp used to be. And now we can... Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go to data, and then we do have them targeting invisible. So Grumpig should be prioritizing the invisible units before anything else. And now that that wave is done, we can say thank you to Grumpig, remove them from the team, and then add Machamp back in. I said that in a funny way because my brain could not keep up with my mouth moving and flapping. So let's continue on. we finally made it to another invisible wave, wave 69, nice. We farmed 200,000 Digidolits. So let's go ahead and first and foremost level up Clefable. Maybe try to get them to within the same levels as the rest of our team, which we are able to. Level 51, which is in and around the same as most of our team here. And then let's go ahead, reach into our box, remove Machamp, add in Grumpig, and then do the invisible. Oh, we never deployed Grumpig. This is a problem. This is a problem. Get in there. Just in time. Just in time. Kecleon's just started spawning. That was horrific. It doesn't replace it automatically. I do have to put it on the thing. And now that that wave is over, we can go ahead and do the old hot swap again. And continue on. We've got another invisible wave here. So far so good though. We haven't had any issues. Any Pokemon make it to the end, which is great. Hopefully we can continue that with this new team layout. One thing I do want to make note though, Ampharos isn't as great as I thought it'd be. The AoE area is amazing, but the fact that it's a 30% chance to stun and it's a 4-second recharge makes me think that it's not even worth it. The damage isn't even that high. Yes, you're obviously using it for the stun chance, but it's not even a guaranteed stun chance. So I don't know if keeping it on the team is all that useful. I could be wrong though. Are we able to level up Ditto? We are. Leveling up Ditto is amazing because it can copy anything. So we are technically leveling up our entire team. I also forgot to deploy Machamp again. I am dumb. We got another invisible wave ahead of us. We've also got 100,000, well over 100,000 Digidolans. Let's go ahead and upgrade Farfetch'd, maybe? Their ability does not increase, so I'm almost tempted not to, if it weren't for the slight range increase, as you can see. But maybe we could use it on something better, like Gengar. Does the attack speed go down? The attack speed does go down, which is nothing to laugh at. Being able to spread its, I guess, nightmare is what we're gonna call that. Being able to spread it to more Pokemon isn't a bad idea. Legolas is also 56. Ampharos, I'm still a little sus on whether or not it'll stay on the team. Clefable only gets recharge in power, no crit or range. That's a little disappointing. Machamp does get a bit of crit. It does get quite a bit of power. It's going to topple 4 digits if we do this, which I think is the first in the entire roster. So I do like that idea. Welcome to level 56, Machamp. Unfortunately, you're getting swapped right here, right now, because we need anti-invis. Let's go ahead and remember to deploy Truffle, or shoot, what is it, Grumpig? Okay, with that wave out, let's go ahead and see just how much 4-digit of damage can do. 1050 damage, which is higher than anything that we can accomplish right now. Not even Clefable will hit that. 344 plus 244 is what, like 588? It's still only like halfway to what Machamp can dish out. That's insane. We've got another invisible wave already. That's a little annoying, but what can you do? Back to the regular waves. Let's go ahead and do the old switcheroo with Machamp and Grumpig. wave 96. We made it 2 more waves than what we have previously accomplished. As you can see here, if you were paying attention before we started all this, this used to say 94. That is the farthest that we have been to. And these Pokemon aren't that far from what our regular team was. So it wasn't like a level deficit. It was basically a team comp that was slowing us down. I think that's going to be it for the video. I've been recording for about an hour. Getting to wave 96 from wave 1 does take quite a bit. One thing I do want to make note of, maybe Ampharos being here isn't the best idea. When they stun them on this corner, no one can really attack them except for Ursula here, because, well, I mean, its range is insane. So I think a lot of the stun is wasted. If we're gonna try this again, I'm thinking of swapping the Ampharos to about here. That might be a little better. And then moving these 3 crit Pokemon just sideways a bit. So something like this, maybe. Just so this Weavile, or I guess this is the Ditto, not the Weavile. Just so Ditto and Clefable can make more use of Ampharos' stun, if it does stun. I think that is one thing that I want to change during the next episode. The other thing I do want to see is, if we don't make it anywhere past 96, then maybe Ampharos just isn't the right Pokemon for the team. We do have a few more in the box here that we could try out. I don't think Sceptile will be any good. It doubles its power in tall grass. We just leveled up Sceptile because there are in the later maps some places that does require you to make use of tall grass. So having a Pokemon that is basically a second jump bluff here, that doubles its power in tall grass, isn't such a bad idea. Lucario is what I'm looking at. Under 1 second attack speed, a power of 213, so not that much stronger from Ampharos, but it does have the AoE that we're looking for. Ampharos does have AoE, but it's like it's 1 attack every 4 seconds. This one will do 4 attacks every 4 seconds, maybe even less. I mean, definitely less. You're looking at close to about 5 attacks every 4 seconds. We could also swap in cast form here. Our Jack of all trades. It can either multiply its damage in tall grass, or double its speed in the water, or increase its range in the mountains. We're probably going to put it in the water so that the recharge gets cut in half to about 0.7. At a power of close to 300, it's not a bad Pokemon. What else do we have? Armaldo here has the ability to ricochet essentially indefinitely. If we flip heads, say 6 times in a row with its crit chance of 58%, it'll bounce 6 times. So it's like AoE, but pseudo. I do want to level it up times 10, so we get a solid 60%. We do have the Pokepaths to do it. So welcome to level 51, Armaldo. And as we keep leveling up Armaldo, the crit chance will just keep increasing. So the chances of flipping heads multiple times in a row will just keep going up. Lilligant, I don't think is good anymore. They're just starred because they were in our team for so long. I'm pretty sure that Sandslash can take over its position. Not only does it attack twice as fast, if we can, let me see here. Let's remove you. Let's add Lilligant. Remove Lilligant, and then add Sandslash. We should be able to just rock back and forth. Yep. So with Sandslash here, it's got a recharge of 1 second and shoots 2 projectiles. Lilligant the backpack basically has double the attack speed and only shoots 3 projectiles. So in the 2 seconds that Lilligant takes to shoot 3, Sandslash will shoot 4 technically. So I'm thinking of replacing Lilligant. It does have a higher base power, but I believe the AoE is worth the swap. Flygon is just insane. I would love the recharge to go down, which it does if we keep leveling it up. But the range on this thing, in case you have forgotten, is pretty massive. Like, it covers half the map. It's on the wrong side. It only covers like this sea. But if we can get it, well, obviously we can't get it on this side since there's no mountain on this side. But there are some maps that I believe Flygon will be useful in. We got Persian, which is our moneymaker. It's just literally here to deal damage and get gold, aka Payday in the real games. And then we got Toad here, which has sort of been nerfed, or not nerfed, but replaced with the addition of Armaldo. The Greninja does have 5 guaranteed ricochets, but at 96 power, it's pretty weak. Like, yeah, the double attack is great, the crit chance is better than most, but like 96% power with the ricochet even having reduced damage at that. Armaldo doesn't have that stipulation. It just, are you critting enough times? Are you lucky enough to keep letting it bounce? So yeah, that's the team that I find valuable that we have unlocked so far. Obviously there's more to unlock. We can pay 50,000 for another egg. And you know what? Just for the heck of it. Hello, Halucha. Hey. Oh, it's just a straight up 50,000 from now on. That's cool. It doesn't go up any higher. What do you do? Causes double damage to... Okay, so Halucha is the same as Machamp. If we unstar you, do you go to the very end? You do. What are we looking at here? Halucha might have just a faster attack speed than Machamp. If it's 0.08 seconds reduction for the times 10, while Machamp is just 0.01, you're looking at a power versus attack speed trade-off here. The crit does not go up. Machamp does get a bit of crit. So again, with that all-out power, range is 136, 125. So you're looking at a bigger range, as well as faster attack speed. Ooh, or maybe we run both. Again, what killed us in this time around are like high health Pokemon. So it's not necessarily... Well, I mean, some of them were the Rhyhorns and Rhydons. So I shouldn't count out double armor. We do have still close to 30,000 monster moolah. So what happens if I level you up just a tiny bit, just to see how far you get? Level 31, I believe it's already attacking faster than Machamp. It doesn't have the power though, which is what we kinda need, but kinda not. I don't think the recharge is high enough. Like, you go to 1.30 at 41. Assuming it's another 0.08, that would be a 1.22. I don't think that's a wide enough attack speed gap to warrant you. Especially since you're going to be at less than half of Machamp's current power at 1050. So let's double 63. That's 126. So that's what, 343-ish? Yeah, double that is like 600. I don't think Halucha is worth it. The range did keep going up. One thing that I didn't notice, but is slightly better recharge and a slightly bigger range worth the like 1/3 damage that Machamp is doing. And I don't think that's the case, especially since it deals double damage. So you're looking at 2100 versus what did I say, like 300 and something that gets doubled. That's 600. Yeah, it's like more than 3 times what Machamp Holucha is 3 times less than what Machamp can dish out. I don't think you're good enough, unfortunately. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. As always, I've been Free99. You've all been amazing. I'll catch you next time.